Monsanto. What is the big deal with this company? Here's this company that owns 3/4 of the world's seed. And as Vandana Shiva says, he who controls the seed controls the world's food supply. Monsanto has become an out-of-control company, too dominating, taking too much control of our food supply. Further to that, they are heavily invested in biotech, which means they are constantly foisting and forcing technology, biotechnology, onto nature, onto the food supply, onto us, and ultimately on our bodies, right down to our digestive system and our cells. You know, as a human being, I want to have the right to have choice. Choice of where I live, choice of whether I marry or not, choice of what I eat, what I drink, whether or not I have to go to university, whether or not I own or I rent, or whether I'm allowed to travel. These are the kinds of things that we enjoy as human beings. In addition to that, I would like to have the right to decide what goes into my body, what I eat. And when I do eat something, I would also like to have the right to know what is in that food. Now, fortunately, my partner Nicole and I, who are organic farmers, the majority of the food we put in our bodies, we know what's in it because we've grown it and it has no ingredients. You'll notice that an apple does not have an ingredients list because an apple is just that, an apple. Apple juice has no ingredients list, it's just apple juice. You look on the bottle, it just says apple juice. Well, when you eat something that has had Monsanto involved in it, it can have any number of factors and changes and genes from whatever animals or creatures that have altered that food. A perfect example to me is potatoes. So you have the Monsanto potato, which has, you know, genes in it that, you know, BTK producing tendencies, where the potato produces its natural insecticide, which attacks the bellies, the guts of bugs. And if you understand how tough a bug is, and if you understand that there are more ants on the earth than humans, and if you understand that if we had some kind of nuclear holocaust, the only things that would be left would be things like ants, beetles, and cockroaches, and bacteria, then you understand a bug is a very strong, indestructible living creature. And these bugs, these potato beetles, have their guts eaten when they eat these potato plants and when they eat those potatoes. So why would I want to ingest a potato or even a potato chip that has a chemical in it, however naturally produced, that is eating the guts of a bug which is much stronger, much more resistant to disasters and radiation than I am? So one of the things that companies like Monsanto argue is, you know, what's wrong with clear cutting? You know, we're making more biodiversity. Oh, no one's ever proven that someone has died or gotten sick from Monsanto, from GMO products. That's not how it should work. It should be reverse onus. No Monsanto products and no bioengineering and gene splicing into our food unless they have proven that it's safe, which means that they have gone through 10 or 20 years of clinical trials by independent companies, independent researchers, independent scientists who are not connected in any way, receiving any money, even including from government. They are simply there just doing the right thing that a scientist does, which is a process of curiosity and inquiry to determine the truth. So at the very, very least, what all of us deserve on this planet is if there's any GMO ingredients in anything that we buy at the store, that it listed right on there exactly what it is and how it might affect our body. I mean, what is it when someone gets a heart valve, if it has some Monsanto pig in the heart valve, then that heart becomes in part patented and property of Monsanto? The world is going crazy. Let's go back to the basics. Let us get control of our food, and we decide what gets grown, we decide what gets eaten, we decide what goes in our body, and especially into our children and into the breast milk of our mothers who are feeding our future children.